Greetings and salutations, guys. I'm here with my review of The Furious. This is a new action movie directed by Kenji Tanigaki. He is a longtime stunt coordinator, huge list of credits with Hong Kong film, but also some Japanese movies, also some Hollywood movies, including Blade 2, the most recent G.I. Joe film. This is his third movie as a director, and oh my god, does it kick ass. It just kicks so much ass. It just kicks ass start to finish. I freaking love this movie, and I think this is a must-see for anyone who appreciates on-screen action. Miao stars here as a handyman who also happens to be one of the most incredible kung fu fighters you'll ever meet, and his daughter is kidnapped, and off he goes to rescue her. He will soon run into Joe Taslim playing Naveen, who is a journalist searching for his wife who went missing, looking into a story about children who have been kidnapped. And the two of them will set out on this quest together, a new mismatched buddy duo who are just going to teach a lot of lessons to a lot of bad people along the way. Look, I could get into more of the story minutiae here, but the fact is this is a movie about the action scenes. This is a movie that is meant to deliver the action scenes, and it just does it so well. This is such a fantastic action movie. It has some of the best fight scenes you're going to see, certainly in any movie this year, but I feel like in the past decade, as far as just pure martial arts. It is so kinetic. Everything moves so quickly, but you can follow it. It's all shot so well as far as never being confusing about what's happening. It's very clever with how the action plays out. Tanigaki was heavily influenced by Jackie Chan, and it shows in a great way as far as using the environment in every fight scene, using everything that's around you, someone picking up a ladder and not only hitting someone with it, but then the person running up the ladder at them. Miao and Joe Taslim make for a very appealing duo, and it's a classic dynamic of them being very different but then bonding together. Miao's character is mute. He does speak through sign language or writing messages when he needs to, and he is very stoic and very serious along the way. And then Joe Taslim gets to play the more openly charismatic, jovial character. He has got a serious mission trying to find his wife, but he also can bring a little bit more lighthearted nature to it. This is definitely operating in a bigger than life reality, and there are things that happen in these fights that, break the laws of physics. Some people go flying further than they should. Some people are able to do some things that are not quite natural human actions. But it doesn't go full cartoon. I think it rides the line in a really nice way because this is classic fun martial arts movie stuff. I mean, just accepting the fact that Joe Taslim's character is a journalist looking for his wife, a fellow journalist who we see in the opening scene, is also an amazing martial artist. These are two journalists who happen to be two of the greatest martial artists on earth, apparently, and that's fine. That is part of the fun, part of what you embrace about this movie. Yang and Yu plays Rainey, the little girl, the daughter that's been kidnapped here, and she's wonderful. She is so likable and sweet in the opening scenes, and she instantly is a kid character that you do care about and you're rooting for. That's going to be important because we're going to follow her the whole movie too, and her plight as she's locked up with these other kids and she tries to kind of be a leader amongst them and maybe stage a little rebellion of her own. And she is a wonderful, fierce little presence in this movie. Brian Lee is also great, has a particularly persistent character, a character, again, with the movie having bending reality, maybe takes a little more punishment than you might expect, and keeps on trucking. And Joe Taslim is not the only alumni from the raid in this movie because Yayan Ruhian is also here. He is great. He has such a wonderful presence. Also doesn't say much and he doesn't need to because he operates with his actions. He operates with a bow and arrow and he does it amazingly well. Look, are there flaws in this movie? Sure. Do I have quibbles? Sure. But they are quibbles. They in no way really detract from the entertainment of this film. I guess I could complain a little bit about the main villain not being that well established when you kind of realize he's the final boss. You're like, oh, I guess it's this character of the several we've met. because he's got a couple scenes, but not that much to really build him to someone where you super care about him. Has, a great villain. There's actually some of the sidekick villains are more interesting than this guy, I think. And I guess it's slight distraction that the movie is in English. That's not the distraction. But there are a couple of supporting actors where you can tell that they were dubbed over. You can tell that's not their speaking voice. I know that's also a classic martial arts movie thing. It's a little weird here just because it's not the movie start to finish. Most of the actors you're hearing their own speaking voice, so maybe a couple times it does pull you out when you're hearing a couple people and it has that disembodied feel. But again, easy to roll with and almost feels like, oh, okay, well, this is, something we're very used to if you've watched a lot of martial arts movies through the years. The final fight is spectacular. It's a two versus two fight that then gets a fifth person coming into it, who, acts as kind of a chaos agent in the middle of it all. And just the way that we are seeing such exciting fights happening and the camera work following it in the way that there's some parts where the camera can barely keep up, and you can tell that's an artistic choice, that it's kind of staying with this all this chaos in one shot and whirling around from one person to the other, but doing so in a way that we can still follow it. It just feels like, okay, what's going on in that corner? What are those two guys doing? What are those three guys doing in the middle of their fight? And it just is so thrilling, and it just builds and builds and builds, and it's just hard not to have a great time with this movie. Yeah, it gets, super violent, but in this sort of, again, over the top but not crazy over the top way. And it just all feels like this is the universe of this movie. The backstory is minimal in a way that I think really works, especially for our main character here, who is a man of mystery. We get little tidbits about things in his past and injuries he's sustained that we can only speculate what's this all about. And if they wanted to do more movies about him, it feels like this would be a great character to just kind of have pop up into different adventures and different places, and maybe get a little morsel of backstory here and there, but you don't need more than you get. Yeah, this movie is just, it is a delight. I had such a fun time watching this movie. The Furious, I really hope it finds its audience, because it's going to be one of those movies. I think even if it doesn't break out in theaters here in the US, it will find its audience eventually, but it deserves to find an audience in theater because it is such a fun communal experience to watch this movie with other people and to kind of feel that adrenaline rush when you're watching a great action movie like this. So yeah, The Furious is in theaters this weekend, and I highly recommend you get to one of those theaters to check it out, because yeah, it is a joy to watch. It is also a joy to like and subscribe, so you should do that as well. Thanks a lot, guys.